squared over 4 minus x plus 1 squared over 9 equal to 1. So a squared is what? 4, b squared is 9. So a is plus or minus 3, b is plus or minus, excuse me, a is plus or minus 2, b is plus or minus 3. Okay? Now, it goes this way, right? Transverse axis is vertical because it's y squared here. Now, what's the center? Careful. Minus 1 plus 3 this way, right? Don't get that screwed up, okay? If you don't, it'll be wonky. It's going to be almost strange, okay? Do you know the word cattywampus? No, it's not a word, it's just a weird word. Cattywampus means strange, crazy. It's a slang word, okay? For example, if someone built a building, right, and the building went like this, instead of like straight, but went like this, we would say it's cattywampus. Okay, don't worry, it's just a strange word, okay? So I just want to say, make sure you get your center right, okay? Otherwise, everything else will be strange, okay? So it's minus 1 plus 3, okay? Now, so that's the only thing that's really different, okay? Everything else is the same. You've got to work it back off that, okay? So the distances to the vertices from the center is what? Well, 2 units. Remember, it's 2 units, right? The vertices are what? 2 plus or minus 2 units off the center, right? It's on the y-axis, right? It's a transverse axis. So from 3, it must be plus 3 plus or minus 2, right? So it becomes minus 1, 5 and minus 1, 1, right? It's on the y-axis, going this way. Okay? Now, the asymptotes. The slopes are always going to be the same. Remember, the slopes in this case, because the transverse axis is vertical, remember, it's y is equal to plus or minus a over b, right? So that's your slopes first, right? Your slopes are plus or minus 2/3. Now, the only thing that's different here is the asymptotes are going to pass through minus 1, 3, right? So you have to use your formula, right? Y equals mx plus b. Well, the better one is y minus y1, right? Is equal to slope m times x minus x1, right? So if I use this, right? Y minus 3, right? Is equal to plus or minus 2/3, the slope, right? Yes? The slope times x minus x1. So all I've done is I've taken the minus 3, moved it over to here, it's plus 3. So basically, that's the 2 lines you have to graph, the 2 asymptotes. You must graph those. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, good. Now, next thing, really the last thing, is the foci. What's the foci? C squared is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. Square root of 13, right? So, C is square root of 13. Now, the foci, again, is on the transverse axis. In this case, it's the y-axis. So, in this time, it's on the y part, right? So, the foci is minus 1. You're working off the center, right? It's minus 1, 3, plus the square root of 13. And then next one is minus 1, 3, minus the square root of 13. So, make sure you have a calculator to calculate these things for the test, so you can draw them. Okay, is there any questions on how I got from here to here? No questions? Okay. Smiling means good, right? Good. Well, I mean, if the stuff is, remember, college algebra, it should be, for the most part, should be reviewed. So if it's reviewed, great. If you remember, it's good. I mean, this is what college algebra is all about. It's about to move people, to get people to be all on the same level. It's business, right? Remember, this is a business class, not a science class. It's not meant to be, for the most part, it's not meant to be different. So it should be reviewed. Okay? Alright, so I'm just going to graph it. So if you graph it, right, you will graph these, you can graph these your own time, you want to graph these points, or these lines. And then I graph these lines here. Right? Remember, this is minus 1, 3, right? Okay? And then here's my equation. And I graph my foci up here and up here. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. If you look at page 625, I won't go through an example, but example 6 just talks about another situation where if you have a hyperbola that's in general form, I won't go through that because you do it exactly the same way as you would do an ellipse. Okay? You put the x's together, and then you put the y's together and do complete the square. Okay? Okay.